Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a Trunit, and welcome back to Orwell, where yesterday, unfortunately, the Orwellian became the Orwelly, as our good friend saw him, so I hate and he's a dig. Unfortunately, Orwell turned against him, and all of his information started being picked apart and leaked to the public, so Harrison did rather turn the tables on us with the help of Initiate, and I'm still wondering who Initiate is, because there's definitely a twist going on there. We'll have to see, especially as he said, I'm already in it. I mean, possibly... Maybe there never was. Maybe Gunther Ahrens was never actually part of this place. And actually, no, he must have existed at some point as the teacher, because he did the courses. Oh, I should have called this. Because if you went to the university site, then all along it said he didn't teach the last semester. Of course he didn't teach the last semester. He was dead. That's why he didn't teach the most recent semester. Ah, bloody hell, this game's clever. Right, let's move on to the final day. And this is, indeed, Episode 5, Under the Spreading Chestnut Tree. I'd have come up with a better name for the final thing, but whatever. Right, so good morning, investigator. Oh, it's you. You're the Secretary of Security or something. I'm going to guess at this point, by the way, Benjamin Costigan's been retired or moved on to different duties given he can't do his job effectively now he himself is being compromised. Since you have the most powerful investigative tool at your disposal, I suspect you ought to know who I am. Yes, you are the head of security or technology or something like that. And you know Joseph. On the other hand, you've been mediocre so far. You couldn't save the Circle Shopping Centre. At least you got the prime suspect. You will do better. Oh, I'm sure I will. I'll be your new advisor on this case. This has become far too important to leave the case to the advisor with an exposed identity. Symes is well, but no longer fit to work on Orwell. Moving forward, we will not speak about him again. As far as you're concerned, he never existed. Okay, just give me a second to take his picture off my screen then, alright? With yesterday's so-called revelation about Orwell sympathisers, this terrorist group has taken to the streets. We need to show all of the nation Orwell is keeping them safe. We won't allow some fools to trample on everything we have achieved. Okay, right, we need to get rid of this imposter pretending to be Abraham Goldfels, find out who did it, and where they're hiding. We could do that, or this strikes me as a very, very good moment to potentially change sides and start working... You know what, I'll make that decision based on when I find out his identity and what we can find out about him first. So, Joseph Langley has been arrested. We knew about that, of course. And the charge is funding of terrorist activities. Harsh, but unfortunately true. He was making a recurring donation to someone who did turn out to be a terrorist. Whether he knew that or not is questionable, but that is technically true, yes. And would you believe the house of the exposed government employee has indeed been vandalised? So that's unfortunate for his pregnant wife, unfortunately, yes. And in what I suspect will still be important, we've still got the secondary plot bubbling away in the background. Negotiations in Triflith related to the Parger situation. Prime Minister Blaine of the nation, negotiations about structured re-elections with the opposition have been resumed, leaving experts baffled. So experts had predicted long and difficult talks, but suddenly Cassart just basically changed his mind and things have gone well. Decreased intensity of the rioting, followers of the opposition called off planned actions at the news of the roundtable gathering. Right, something big's going on next door here. We need to keep an eye on that because I feel like it's connected. And more importantly to know the context, yes indeed. As thought activists unveil government surveillance system Orwell, supporters gather at the former Freedom Memorial. The government is staying silent, so we've now got mass protests on the streets. Meanwhile, a whole load of things have started going backwards and forwards over in the listener. So, Gunther Ahrens, let's see what's going on here. Obviously we've seen that message before, that's okay, and someone has been getting involved here. Hang on, from Gunther Ahrens to... those individuals. Right, members of thought, my dear friends. As you all have experienced already, we're being besieged by the government. They've denounced us, called us terrorists, and turned the public against us. This will stop today. Their days are about to come to an end. I have a plan, but for this to work out, we must meet like we did in the old days when we had our meetings in Cafe Chestnut. We'll have a conference call at 4 PM sharp, because I am well aware that meeting in person won't work out for us. Well, neither will the conference call, but whatever. You don't need to worry about surveillance, all has been taken care of. I will contact you, get in safe position, be ready. Why do I get the feeling that is a trap? Okay, let's just get that over to there. So we've got ourselves a gathering, and we know he's dead, so who is imitating him, and are they... whose side's he on as well? Ooh, right, processing data chunks is time consuming. I'd say we have time for roughly 20 data chunks. Be considerate. Now I have literally, I've flipping time limit for what I can and can't upload. After 20-day chunks, the conference call takes place, meaning I need to figure out what's going on up to that point. And obviously we're seeing all these emails because of course we're receiving the received versions as well as the sent one. Right, what do we have over here? From Marker, subject ghosting. You must think I'm stupid. First you don't tell me you're going, so you need to ghost, then hours later you don't answer your phone. I called Pers asking for you. She told me you were at a cyber cafe Chestnut yesterday evening. Right, said you stormed in, then furiously wrote something on your PC. Probably this outrageous blog post the news speaks of, then stormed back out the door, only to meet whom? Juliet, meaning you're back in action with this shitty group. And to her, I cannot flipping believe it. So now I'm trying emails. You can't dodge me any longer. You and me, we're done. Okay, that is not relevant. Do not upload that. Okay, his positions yesterday evening may be relevant if and only if I have nothing else at the minute. And I think right now I don't. So that one, but not the other, because sometimes you need to upload something to unlock the next thing. Oh, I need the right profile, sorry. Harrison, his locations yesterday evening and who he met with and when. Got it. So that's given us a new bit of data. This is where Harrison O'Donnell did his dirty work, probably thinking we wouldn't be able to track him down. We will track him down. Alright, what have we got here? I've gone through the information we have on the remaining suspects regarding the impersonation of Abraham Goldfels. He predicted the bombings. This alone makes him suspicious. We've no idea why he hit the post on Thought blog in his timeline. We're yet to clarify why he would be frequenting a drugstore so often. Survival supplies, perhaps. Why would he have 2 health insurance policies? It's apparent that Harrison O'Donnell might all be part of the bonds and bombings. Okay, he's probably the one impersonating Goldfels. Really? That wouldn't have been my first guess, but okay, whatever. Now, over to this here website. And this is a cyber cafe on the Stelligan campus. Fine, so it's all connected, okay. And we have got ourselves a new photo for Harrison. Don't upload that. Okay, we've got limited data here. He is a former employee of the cyber cafe Chestnut. Maybe come back to that. Maybe come back to it. Instead, this is much more useful. Ignore that. Instead, we have got his computer ID. Now that we definitely want. That's important. Focus on that stuff, okay? That's relevant. And his girlfriend, Marker, that's probably how they met each other because she works there as well. What looks like a barista at this here cyber cafe. Fine. Over to Insider. Let's get on his computer, damn it. And there we are. It's suitably emo background there. Lovely. So, browser history. What have we got here? Looked up Benjamin Costigan. In all fairness, not too surprising. We've got, where's my phone? Okay, phone ID. Take that, absolutely. We definitely want to take that. So we've now got PC ID and phone ID for him. That's very, very important indeed. Right, back to his computer, please. Rebel Punk God. He just keeps fan art of himself. He's a dick. Maybe I'll just frame him even if he didn't do it. Now, message for the Great Hancock from Juliet. We do not need that email address. We are limited in what we can upload. Right, Juliet, aka Dixon, don't need to know. Oh, might need to know that. Okay, I'll upload that purely because, but that gives me access to her email account. Okay, maybe come back to that. Remember, message for the Great Hancock in his personal folder, useful. Now, why did he take out the 2 policies here? Please find your invoice for our services below. Life Trust Flex Insurance March. Okay, nothing major. And then a different one. We've got family. Special health insurance covering family members. Right, that is probably useful. Let's figure out what we're doing with that. Why does he have family member coverage? Who's the family member in question? Right, over to the listener. We've got a session between Harrison and Juliet here. Now, what do we need? What are you going to be saying to each other? Now that you both know Orwell exists, you're going to be very careful about what you say. Where the hell are you? Why did you leave Abe's? Our plan was to hide somewhere until we're no longer public enemies, number 1 and 2. Yeah, that was before I found out what you did. Juliet possibly doesn't agree with him exposing that guy. Not because she disagrees with ethically, just because basically it means she thinks he's painted a target on their backs. Did you get Abraham's email? Yeah, that was crazy, but it's not him. Okay, but of course they don't know that. So they think it's all legit. So in which case... Interesting. Now, this is useful. We've got advice from Juliet. Is hiding somewhere where she has not stayed before in the last 24 hours. Okay, if we need to track her down, that will be of use. So let's just actually get that against her thing. Lovely. And just make sure we've got a record of that. A useful hint. If you encounter any hints to hideout locations, be sure to validate them by checking where they've stayed before first. And unfortunately, he's lost his phone. Which is unfortunate because we have his phone ID. Do we want to bother with that? Okay, fine. As we have the phone ID, it's important. I think we know that. Nope, sorry, not him. So, you. Shove it over there. So, while we have the phone, lost his phone, thought it'd be attached to it. Yeah, we've got the phone ID. We have not much else at all going on here. We've got... Ooh. Juliet speaking to Initiate. That's new, isn't it? I think that's new. Yes, indeed. Juliet doesn't even know who Initiate is. I can't remember if Harrison ever mentioned him. I think Harrison just mentioned a hacker. Someone mentioned... Wait, I thought she knew about the hacker. Didn't she know about a random hacker? Oh, yeah, you're the hacker guy that Harrison spoke to. Fine. Initiate just seems to be thinking out loud. Was this thoughts work? Was it a government setup? Well, it does appear to be Abraham... Well, Abraham at some point did exist, but died. Okay, you helped dox this Costigan. Well, that's fine. We don't really need to... That's not important at this exact moment in time. I mean, that's obvious. Can you do it again, what you did? Nope. Okay. Why were you asking? Did you have something in mind you wanted him to do, Juliet? And Initiate is incredibly surprised that Abe is back. He says he has plans. You know him, kind of. Where from? Coincidence. Oh, Initiate, stop playing the mysterious game, alright? Every time you've tried to do some hacking, it hasn't actually worked out that well. You are not that damn impressive. It's going down 4 PM as a conference call. Give me a number, I'll add you to the invite. No thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, you know what? He's clever enough to not put his phone number into this thing. The email sounded authentic. Yeah, it is a trap. Or rather, it's some form of trap, because he's dead. Okay, that's all we've actually got for now. So, in which case, unless something new's shown up here, I think what we need to do is go back to the computer. Let's get the aliases of Juliet. That might lead us somewhere new. So we've got ourselves a new alias that might open up some new stuff here. Yes, indeed. That's found ourselves a related document. Lovely. Also, his phone's just become active. Despite the fact he claimed to have lost it. Someone's turned it on, I think. And we've got ourselves... Ooh. Displaying locations of the last 20... Oh, gosh darn it. Right. Okay. So, this is... If we uploaded all of this, then we would know where he is not going to be, simply because we know that, yeah, they specifically said, don't go to places you've already been. Okay, leave that for now, because that's 5 bits of data, damn it. But we have got on Harrison's phone, Abraham Goldfels. Right. We've got ourselves confirmation there. Harrison was Abraham Goldfels. Not all along, but from a certain point. Fine. That is important. We need to get that in there at least. Right, get that over there. And it was Harrison O'Donnell. Well done, investigator. Make sure we have all relevant locations where he might be hiding his profile so we can make an arrest. That's a lot of data. I might do that. Just wait first. And also, Juliet Carrington is searching for... stuff. Ah, her webmail. Fine. So we do actually need that as well. Oh, blimey. We're rapidly running into things we need. Over to your notebook and over to message for the Great Hancock. Yeah, let's get access to her account, please. Just move over to Juliet. Because with that, we'll be able to hack into her account, which she did just access. So that is important. Okay, lovely. Now, what else do we have in here? We have got ourselves a mobile number for Jules. Okay, fine. Actual proper contact information is important. It might give us new information. Good. Keep an eye on her as well. Half our time's up. Okay, stay diligent. Will do. Remember, if I want to upload all 5 of those locations, I need 5 bits of data at the end of the day before we settle this. And there is a lot to do yet, damn it. Right, a call from Victor Rosen himself. Okay, why is the head of the company calling the PR assistant? I just talked to Maria. Why are you not at work? I sent a sick note. Didn't you know? You did not. You were here the entire weekend. That's what the tracker says. No one authorised you to do so. Now you're meant to be here. You're not. Also, what is that registered under your account? This device ID does not belong to the company approved device. Okay, you'll explain these irregularities. I want you in my office as soon as possible. I don't think so. She hung up. Alright. So, that's important. We have got... Leave that for the time being, okay? Leave that for now. Maybe come back to that. Mobile phone ID. Get in there. Let's have a look at her phone as well. That's important. We might not have enough data to upload all the theoretical positions. If she's got a load of data on her map as well, we're basically going to have to pick who we want to pick up. So we'll have to see about that. And we've also got a new entry over on the Thought has finally become available. Ah, Dixon! So we've got her entry on the Thought. Nothing too dramatic aside from stuff that puts Juliet in a fairly good light. She did the organising. It was a scary task. Organise a peaceful protest, slowly raise awareness. They're more likely to be open-minded, prone to question authority in the government, and the protest went off without a hitch. This all puts her in a fairly good light, really. You did great. That's why we chose you for this. You even thought of making sure we could all get home after the protest by organising an extra bus. Marvellous. Okay, nice. And yes, indeed, concerned one, Nina, is saying this wasn't enough, so Nina wants to push a lot further, a lot faster. And planned the protest. We already know about that, so let's just disable that. We do not need to know that. That's already known information. And we've got more yet. The mysterious ghost account of Gunther Ahrens, which you now know as Harrison, has started sending out some things. And Gunther Ahrens, or rather Harrison in disguise, contacting Initiate. Today I need to call upon your help to make it happen. I'm aware of your capabilities and your skills. You need to stop trying to tear down walls, instead shifting to running through open doors. Here's where to find one. Okay. Right. Has worked out a plan involving Initiate. In contact with him. That is important, yes. So we'll get that uploaded. Down to 8 data chunks remaining. Okay, they're going to try and attack Orwell once again. Let them come. I would not be that confident. There's clearly something going on here, alright? Right, over to the Insider. Let's just finish off his phone nice and quickly in case there's anything else we need to do here. We've already, we checked the contacts and we picked up your phone number from there. That's fine. And Cassie's number. Leave that. Leave that for now. I don't see how Cassie's number's going to do as much good. She's still in flipping prison for the time being. Maybe come back to that. We've got a new portrait. Okay, I think we can definitely do without that, thank you. And just a message between him and Jude. Okay. Judy Hull. Right. Lives with his mother. Ooh. Okay. That's intriguing. Oh, okay. All of this. Oh, I live in this kind of, ramshackle place on the edge of town. It's filthy, but it's off the grid. Okay, so that was just him being a poser. Okay. Unsurprising, but leave that. Unless it's... No, it's not important because we know he won't be going there. He specifically said he won't be going there, so that's okay. Right, let's go over to Juliet's phone that we now have access to. What do we have going on over here? Any new contacts that are relevant? Also, who has their professor in the background of their phone? That's just weird. Okay, phone number for... Is that going to be relevant? Because we know that's probably a fake, to be honest. And her phone number too. Okay, just in case we can do something with that, let's just get that over there towards Goldfell's Abraham. See if we can get any more information out of that, because being able to hack into his communications would theoretically be useful, yes. Goldfell's is dead. What do you expect to happen on his phone line? I expect it to potentially being used by flipping... What's-his-face? By Harrison, alright? Okay, fine. Maybe that one was a waste. Oh, this is interesting. This is suddenly very interesting. Okay... Poor choice to follow this Abraham creep. Just because he worked at Rosentech doesn't mean it's a good job for you. And it's possibly important to that project we saw earlier. We've got a new project here which is close to release. Everyone's doing overtime. No, they're not. You were at the office when you weren't supposed to be. Why do you get the feeling Juliet's way more important than I'm thinking she is right now? Okay. So, he worked at Rosentech, which we didn't know before, but might be very, very important indeed. Okay, you'll see. I'll make you see. You know what? I'm going to upload that right now, because if we can make a connection to that project she was working on at the weekend, possibly spying on... Yep, we've got a spell, so you're not supposed to... Look, I'm not wasting precious time. I'm finding something useful. Shut up. I might be on the cusp of finding about a secret project at Rosentech that might be at the core of all of this. Now, other problem. We've got ourselves another flipping 5 locations on her phone. So I can only upload all the locations of one of these 2 people, Juliet or Harrison. I have to decide who I'm basically handing in. But before I make that decision, right now, what I can do is go over to the reader and now go over to... What exactly are you working on? Because I suspect this is important. This is very important. This is hugely important. Demiurge. This has got to be the core of it. Alright, shut up, the woman who's yelling at me. This is important. I need to know about Demiurge. Okay? Let me know what's going on here. I command you to no longer Ah. I see. I'm on the cusp of finding something that you don't want me to know about. Okay, I see what's going on here, and that has opened up a new thing on the thoughts. Let this be my confession. I, Abraham Goldfels, developed the so-called ethical codex for a project codenamed Demiurge, which has been renamed Orwell, and I have proof for everything I am about to write cloned to a device with the UID PC. Okay. So, we now have to make our choice. Plain and simple, we now have to make our choice. We can upload that and basically use that in order to start accessing that PC and basically just start getting that information out into the world. Or rather, actually not. Because what I'm doing is handing the information over to her. Like, I'm not getting it out to the public at all. At this point, I've got 5 data chunks remaining. I can either upload all 5 of Harrison's locations, basically guaranteeing he's going to get arrested. All 5 of her flipping locations, she'll be arrested. And she might have something important to do with this. That might be what she was doing at the weekend. Or we keep digging. No, I think that's what we do right now. We need to get ourselves a new PC. Screw it. I'm going rogue. We're bringing down Orwell. We're doing the good things, damn it. Right, 4 data chunks remaining. So you know it's now. Yes, we hired him for Orwell. This is his doing. It was me who wanted him on the project in the first place, to get things right with Orwell, to follow ethical standards. Only very few people here knew that. I wanted to make sure it stayed that way. Our most ferocious enemy worked for us. It's the person I chose. Now you know about it, discovered by the very tool it was all about. The irony is not lost on me. But, well, you chose to disobey. I warned you before. This will have consequences for you. Well, screw it. I don't... Hello, that's me! Yay, I'm John! My occupation is investigator. Sure. Yeah, there wasn't a photo that looked anything like me, so I just picked the one with the nice hat, by the way. So that's good. Now I can start finding out stuff about me, hopefully. Right, over to your... Ah, it's offline! Boo! I can't even get onto it. Fine. That's unfortunate. So, in which case... Oh! I'm disobedient! That's the one thing in my personality. I am disobedient. Marvellous. And sadly, this here thing is offline. Right. Right. So, in which case, what do we need to do next? Well, firstly, we're not done with the Thought blog yet, because where's entry 2? There's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's no 2 yet. Something hasn't been found. Not sure if this is going to be relevant in any way or not, but can't help but notice we've got ourselves suggestion from Juliet to Cassie, get the bus on Freedom Plaza every day. I think we can do without that for now. Right, let's go, in fact, over to the phone. Let's go over to the phone and get from the contacts. Let's get your phone number. It's time to do a little bit more digging here. I'm not handing over these people's location information because I'm blatantly betraying the government right now. So in which case, let's start seeing what we can find here. 3 data chunks remaining, and that turned out to be useless, so that's good. Yeah, of course, we already know that Juliet had in her possession a USB drive with a ton of materials related to Demiurge, so she's already got that information. Got it. Right, back to your phone. What else can we do here? We already know about that. Do we have any more contacts we can use in here? We've already got your phone number there for Cassie. That turned out to be useless. We've got 3 data checks remaining, and I've decided I'm not handing over any information that's going to be useful for capturing those guys. I think it's time for us to just hand over useless data, re-enable that. Just embarrassing data for Harrison, quite frankly. I'm handing over no data whatsoever. Okay, we're just handing over useless data. There we are. Lives with his mother. Completely useless. Here we are. Some nice photos. Some nice photos for Juliet. That's a nice picture of Juliet. Juliet, you can have this nice photo on your profile. There we are for when the revolution begins. Beautiful. Nice photo. And we only have time for one more upload. Make sure it counts. Okay. How about a photo of Harrison sitting playing cards with somebody? Well, actually... Wait a minute. This actually might be vaguely useful. Because we know he took out the family policy. Who's this guy in a wheelchair? That actually might be flipping useful. Okay, I might have accidentally or deliberately trying to screw up the system. I've come up with something that might be of interest here. Who's the brother or something? It's 4 PM. I'm getting intervention teams ready to check all the locations you've mentioned. I haven't mentioned any. That's good. Now wait to see what happened. Oh, they're already breaking in. Good. They've already decided to get inside our system. Lovely. And you're not catching any of those guys. And everything's going wrong. By any chance are we about to see entry 2? By any chance? Nope. This is just flicking around by itself right now. And then it's all collapsing. Orwell's given up. And I'd say I've officially made it so you're very unlikely to bother catching anyone. Beautiful. Unless we get to listen on the call anyway. We might be able to listen on the call regardless. Let's see how this all ends and whether I was right to do it. Right. Is this working? Is anyone here? Well, I am, says Harry. Harry, I didn't know you'd still be around. Seems neither Cassandra or Joseph are here. Cassandra's in prison, damn it. It's a bit harsh to expect her to show up. I don't know. Somehow. Now, holy crap, says Initiate. What is this? Who are you? Fool who is baffled by the madness he just witnessed. Otherwise, Initiate. We're glad you decided to join us. That's completely unintended. What do you mean? You're in the call, aren't you? Yeah, I'm also in Orwell. Abe sent me an IP address to get into Orwell. It makes hacking the damn thing incredibly easy. He did what? And that worked? Wait, how did Harrison do that? Like a charm. Now I kind of control the damn thing. It's really, really worrying. Come again. You have Orwell on a freaking leash. Great. How does that worry you? My control is limited and the government will get control back at some point. This isn't my primary concern. What makes me nervous is, why would Abraham have such extensive knowledge of Orwell? Well, he worked in it, but the person who sent you into it isn't actually him. It's Harrison in disguise. This is the point where it gets even worse. I had a quick look at his file. You'd not believe what it says. Abraham's dead. He died quite some time ago. Dead? No. Abraham how? He was very sick. Cancer. Ah, that explains how he outlived the prognosis. Fine. He gave Nina the orders for the bombings after his demise. That means someone has been setting her up real bad. And not only her, all of us. And it's obviously Harrison. Yeah, you know what? You can swear as much as you want. It was you. That's fine. But I'm not getting info on who or why. What a pity, but it does prove my point. What do you mean, Jules? Oh, Jules. Right. Why did I get the feeling it was going to be something involving her more than I expected? Right. I can't believe where this is going. Are you for real? Are you telling me you told Nina to place those bombs? How did you get it on his phone? He lost his phone. It wasn't his. She had it. You and Nina, you ruined everything for Abraham and for Thought. So that leaving wasn't enough for revenge. You had to kill innocent people and blame it all on Thought. It was necessary. Only when things were at their darkest will people listen, take note, and actually enact change. Abe knew that. No, it was extreme. It's goddamn murder. I know, damn it. Believe me, I know. Your actions really screwed the members of Thought, screwed them really good. Most of all, Nina. How can you justify that? What did you do all of this for? Thought needs to be destroyed. That was the point of its foundation. Instead of seeking me out and arresting me, Orwell labelled you all target persons and investigated you all, screwed up our lives. People need to see how flipped up Orwell is. It's not protection. It's invasive and manipulative doom for everyone. No one is innocent. Everyone's a suspect. Abe wanted to make the world stand up to things like Orwell. He knew how dangerous the project was. That's why he worked on it. He did what? He worked on Orwell. It's confirmed what I feared, but I don't want to believe it. If so, he could have gone to the media and made it all public, couldn't he? He was afraid. He thought nothing would ever change if he did. Can you blame him? He told me everything, and only me. Right. Funny. I just realised you're actually a much better, yet much worse activist than Nina or me could ever be. That's admirable in a strange and very flipped-up way. I still don't get it. Why draw all of this attention to thought? You didn't convince anyone by your actions. Why this gathering? Why let me hack Orwell? I just needed to convince one person how faulty Orwell was. Costigan, the guy Harry leaked information about, was the man on the inside, only an advisor. The person who's really been spying on you is still around. The person who actually went through your stuff, passed on the data, the one listening right now, the investigator. That's right, I'm talking to you. Hello! I knew you had to be around when everyone would come together. You had to be listening. Initiate was just a windfall, a chance to make sure you'd not immediately go up against us. I didn't, I'm on your flipping side. I've really not handed over your locations to anyone. Investigator, I have a question. Now that you've seen Orwell firsthand, do you really think this system will help anyone? Do you think the government would not spy on you as well? Do you think you're outside the system? No, I think I've been radicalising people and making things worse rather than better. I completely agree. We can stop it. You can. I know that. I know I'm being investigated. I've already been marked as flipping disobedient. Bloody hell. Remember you became recruited for being outside the system, outside the nation. What if we show people what they store about you? That not even you are not outside the system. That no one is outside the system. What we need to do, investigator, is upload the data they have on you, incriminating yourself. This is mind-bogglingly stupid. No, well, okay, fine, I agree. It's a bit of a flimsy plan. Why would the investigator cooperate? Oh, I'm so on board. I'm totally 100% on board. That's absolutely fine. So the evaluation is supposed to make it a safety net so no one misuses Orwell, and to evidence is mandatory. If the investigator incriminates themselves, they'll be forced to prosecute them, thus revealing the evidence that the investigators are actually being spied on, as well as... Wait, I don't quite follow that, but you know what, I'm just going to just give me a big button and I'll push it, damn it. Ah, but Initiate wants to offer an alternative. Okay, it just so happens that a certain Katherine Delacroix is in this file too. I say we make use of the fact we have control over Orwell, let's use it as a weapon and turn it against the government. Something dirty to be found about Mrs. Delacroix, that's for sure. Let's ask about that. Okay, now we're talking. No, that won't help much, he'll just get replaced. This isn't the right way. Yeah, flipping us up isn't the right way either. Okay, right. Oh dear. Harrison, I think, has possibly just been grabbed. He's just fallen prey to the great surveillance system. Down to the two of us, it seems. Well, my plan to gather support for you failed, investigator. If you still want to fulfill my plan, go ahead and give Delacroix hell. You will find something dirty. Investigator, it's time to make up your mind. You can tear down the entire system. Just complete my plan, please. We'll turn Delacroix into a target person. I think I can easily activate access to her PC for you as well. Marvellous. Lovely. So when Abraham stopped his work for the Rosen and the government, he cloned all the information he had, hid it in the office. He told me, and I maintained it. The system is programmed to boot itself up again in a couple of minutes. You'll have access to everything. Just need to find the UID of the device. Actually, I think I've already got that. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I have full understanding. If you judge and incriminate me for what I've done, I think I deserve it. It's up to you now, investigator. Do the right thing. Right, so what do we have here? An unwanted guest. And it was thought it's about time we undo them. We must be strong. We must show these people up for what they are. The nation's safety is depending on it. Find a way to incriminate them together as a group. All we need is a hint is that Abraham Goldfuss intended for this group to carry out terrorist actions. That's a lie, so we're not... Well, okay, Nina technically did. Nina did, and Juliet actually caused her to do it. And Juliet was pretending to be Goldfell's, and then I guess the messages from Goldfell saying like, oh, I can't believe you do that, were just fake to draw attention away from her or whatever. Fine. We could trace the attack back to a remote PC. I'll now manually unlock this PC for you. So now we're basically deciding who we're attacking then. Okay, over to the insider. We've got a lot of stuff to look at all of a sudden. So, let's just go through this one at a time and make our decision. first, let's start off with initiate stuff over here. And there's a few bits and pieces. Right, okay. Well, we've got information here about initiate. We've actually got a name and an internship date. Fine, so that's how he got some of the information he needed. And here's information I need if I want to slander this here group. Goldfell's chatting with Themba, who is apparently initiate. I will found a cell for this guerrilla war, then I will recruit members, call to arms, then we will start acting, even bombings possibly, to kill. Then they will increase security measures, nothing gets better. Okay. No, wait, hang on. No. That's exactly not what he was saying. He was saying think through what you are saying, consider the chain of events that will set in motion. It's not that I will, it's that if only you'd used the conditional, this would have been fine. Okay, they'll increase security measures, nothing will get better. Fine. So, we're definitely not doing that, because that will be actively a lie. That would just be a smear, that will be taking a sentence out of context. So let's turn that off for the time being. Now, I can build loads of information about Initiate. He's over in Cape Town, apparently. Right, let's just start building a little bit more up information here. So, Initiate has a contact over here. We've got a contact. Let's just keep working on this here. That's going to give us some new information. Who's that guy going to be? Screw it. Let's just upload a little bit more information about Initiate. Why not? You know what? You didn't get to hide behind anonymity anymore. I haven't decided whether you're the good guy or the bad guy, but let's just put some basic information up about you in case it leads us somewhere. So, I think that's all of the stuff on his computer. Nope, not quite. There's at least one more thing going on here. Yep, he has a sister. There we are. So just sister's identity. Nothing major. Just a few bits and pieces there. Let's just learn a little bit more as much as we can. Right, that's his phone cleared out. Let's see what we can learn from that. Got ourselves a photo. There we are. Now we know what this guy looks like. Beautiful. She just said we're going to search for this guy nationwide. I'm pretty confident he's actually right now in Cape Town, but whatever. I think right now he's in Cape Town. He had an internship here, but I don't think he's actually there anymore. I think that was a while ago. I think he's gone back. Okay, nothing else much in his phone that we can really do there, aside from, handing over the information that would basically falsely incriminate Goldfells of being involved with some various bad things. But we know that's wrong. Yeah, there's nothing left in his phone now, aside from just that. So, let's move on to Katherine here. See what we've got going on. Just one folder, one thing. See, as advanced as all might be, it won't gather much from a switched off PC. Goodbye, investigator. Oh dear. Right. I'm guessing that she has just turned that off, so she knew that was coming. That's a shame. Oh well. Never mind. Probably nothing we can really do to incriminate her then. And that's like, maybe if I'd gather some information about her first. Screw it. Let's just have a little loopsy around and just build a profile for her. Why not, eh? Here we are. There's a nice photo of you. Lovely. Get that up there, and your information there, and the inception of the safety bill. Let's just shove some information in there about you for no well-explained reason, but we'll do it anyway. I think at the university there was more stuff as well. Yep, notable alumni there. So studies as criminal law, member of the party, diddly diddly dee, and that's given us a new document. Uploading all of that. We've got something here. Right, well, you can try and lock me out as much as you want, but I'd say there's going to be problems here. So. Personalised news. Well, we know about that already. We've read that article. Your schedule for today. Personal phone number. Meeting with NSEC security. Okay. By any chance, would you be trying to cause trouble in order to actually get a private security firm more business or something? Let's just keep having a little look-see around your stuff before we make a decision. Yep, you may have shut down your desktop, but your phone's still on, isn't it? Lovely. And apparently you're just flipping married to Lucius Malfoy, and there's your son Draco. Beautiful. Got phone numbers for everyone in the government. Beautiful. Including the flipping Prime Minister. Very, very good indeed. There we are. Message from her son, Francis. Okay, we saw his name in the phone thing as well. Here we are. Message from him. Is everything normal? I'm going to send someone to fetch you. What's going on? Are you okay? Yes, don't worry. Right, she's panicking. Lovely. And we have got a husband or boyfriend, Ed. Let's just keep building the profile here, see what we can find over time. Now this is nice. Okay, so message on her phone there. Turns out the Bonton bombings have been viewed positively. Well, that's just lovely for screwing her over. So, that's a bit of information that will completely screw up her career if need be. Right, over in her messages, we've got that. And meanwhile, someone's been leaking to the newspaper, but it's been authorised by her. So she's been leaking to the press. She's been welcoming bomb attacks, even if she's not responsible for it herself. Lovely. So, that's her phone cleared out then. Good, good, good. So now we know if we want to destroy her, we can do that pretty easily. In all fairness, that is... it's more honest than destroying him, because what we found on his phone, where it said about, hey, I could form a terror cell, what he was saying was, I could form a terror cell, but it would end badly, it would just be a lie. So don't worry about that for the time being. Instead, we've got the third and final phone here, rather than that computer that's just turned itself on. Now, what do we have here? Information about Orwell. Ah, here we are. And of course, this is how it was all done. The information inside what Goldfells wrote for Demiurge has access to Orwell. And of course, yeah, that's how access was granted, and the whole system was taken down briefly before, because presumably Juliet had that data in the USB that Barry handed over to her. Fine. This is interesting. Email from Abraham. Here's my plan. From what you have told me, you're more than capable of building a bomb, are you not? We need 3 of them. Place them at the most important places in town, right before the eyes of the public. Freedom Plaza Memorial, Stelligan University at the Central Courtyard, and finally, the Circle Shopping Centre. Okay, fine. Hide them well, cause substantial destruction. And that was from D. Schwartz, which I'm guessing is an email address that Molly Schwartz was using, but I thought it'd be M. Schwartz, but whatever. And of course, these messages began February 2017. At this point, the real guy was long since dead. So the nice guy who we read about his articles, he died, and then at some point, his email was hacked by Harrison, who started sending these messages and basically instructing her to do all the bombing and whatever. Ah, now this is interesting. So, an old record of a conversation between him and Juliet, presumably from back in the day, wanted her to destroy the PC backup. Delete the backup of the data I stored there. Remove every trace I ever worked in this godforsaken project. Then quit. That's no place for you. Walk away. Do not tell anyone. Okay. That seems fine. Let's just start building that up in case that opens up any new options. And here we go. Over in his notes. Yes, indeed. A third human element. Yeah, there's me. The person who I hand the data over to. And someone who's also managing me. Okay, which, I don't know why that makes it worse. That makes it better to make sure I don't go off the rails. But okay, let's add information about me there. And that's opened up a new document. Lovely. And there we are. There's my... Ooh, I'm rated trustworthy. I shouldn't be. I'm terrible at my job. I've messed up repeatedly, but whatever. Now, what's the best way to end this? I can either, basically, incriminate myself as part of a slightly convoluted plan regarding, like, if they have to arrest me, then that will mean that they expose themselves to... But I don't believe any of it, because they could just arrest me quietly and I could just be bundled to the back of a van and never heard of again. Like, this isn't leaking this to the public. Like, what we're better off doing, I think, is actually going after her. Let's start going... If we can do both, I'll do both. But let's start by going after her, I'd say. Let's just quickly get inside your phone over here, please. Thank you. Over to the chat. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I think, to my mind, that makes the most sense. So, you think the Bonton bombings have been really great. So that's terrible for you, isn't it? And I think, actually, that's my choice made. And indeed, Delacroix has announced her resignation due to these revelations. And the government has cancelled Orwell. Beautiful. So that indeed has been taken care of. And the stored data has been erased. Good. That is what I want to be. Good. Okay. I think I've made the right choice here. Lovely. We had an obligation to reveal this malicious project. Thought is to be rebuilt and will do good work. Marvellous. And I'm wanted for arrest, which is unfortunate. But never mind. But, of course, I'm not in the same country. So hopefully John will never be extradited. So that will be absolutely A-okay. Am I actually back in control? Ooh! Have I still flipping got access? I might do. Oh, no, never mind. I don't think I do. But I can go down and read the rest of it. I can just slam some more stuff against me if I'd like to. The investigator who is likely to be in possession of insider information on the surveillance program known as Orwell. Yes, okay, fine. I probably do. Let's just go and slap that against my name. And there we are. Orwell, the end. I'd say that's a pretty good ending, all things considered. She gets herself arrested. The flipping actual Orwell program gets shut down anyway. And Thought basically starts doing some good work. And did the terrorists get away with it? Okay, Nina laid the bombs and she was shot to death. And Harrison, possibly Harrison kind of got away with it. I mean, admittedly, it looked like Juliet was actually... Juliet actually looked like she was still now in a senior position of authority of some description, and she did actually get Nina to lay the bombs. So I have kind of left a murderer go free, which is fine, but... ooh... I may or may not have just done the right thing, I'm not sure. And there we go. That there is the end of Orwell. Oh, this has been great. Oh, I've loved this. I'm so glad I got to play this. This has been a fantastic little game. Right. There we are. We've solved most of the mystery. Admittedly, we still don't there's still a few things that are kind of a bit uncertain, like why exactly was Harrison paying so much money for the two policies, the health policies. I guess we assume that that's maybe his brother that kind of lives out in the photo we saw on his phone. Actually, I guess it makes sense. Ooh. Maybe he lives at home, but actually we do know that he did go and visit that little ramshackle place on the edge of town. Possibly he's actually kind of paying for the home and the healthcare of, I don't know, someone, his brother, who knows. But that guy, because that guy looked like he was outside a trailer, so for some reason Harrison is paying for the healthcare and maybe the accommodation of some guy in a wheelchair. We're just not quite sure who that is. So still some unanswered questions. Oh, this has been a great, cracking little game. I've enjoyed this immensely. Link in the description below if you want to check it out yourself. Thoroughly recommended by me. This has been a fantastic little game. I will definitely be watching for what this studio do next. I will definitely play what comes out of them next time. No questions asked whatsoever. So I'm sure we will see, hopefully, something very similar again in the future. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. This has been Orwell. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I've created a small problem in my road system, which is it's literally impossible for anyone to ever go back into town. And this building shall be where we produce our zebras. And this much taller building next door is naturally where we produce the giraffes. Does anyone remember how the road system went? I think it was something like this.